Hello students, welcome to another class of chess education. In today's lesson we shall be learning why premature development of queens in the opening is not good. Well, in the earlier classes you have learned that we have to develop or bring out all our chess pieces or chessmen in the opening and then attack our opponent. Okay, so all the pieces would attack together. But now I am saying, usually it's not a good idea to bring out our queen too early in the game. There are basically two reasons. The first reason is that our queen can be chased by our opponents. Okay, we all know the queens are the most precious chessmen, right? So when our opponent chases our queen or tries to exchange our queen with a pawn or knight or bishop, our queen has to run away. And while the queen runs away, we lose time, we do not develop our other chessmen, and our opponent will get upper hand. So we shall be going through this through two examples, two games. The first game which I am going to show you was played in 1934 in the capital of Romania, Bucharest, and the players were Janovici with white, Mayer with black. So let's see how the game started. Janovici playing with white, he played e4, black played e5, white played d4. Immediately he is attacking with his pawns in the center, and black simply exchanged. He took the pawn, expecting that white would take with the queen, and when white recaptures with the queen, black will simply play knight to c6, attacking white queen, and the queen will have to run and lose time. Lose time because in the openings, it's always advisable to bring out the pieces. But if our queen keeps on running away, then we lose time and our opponent is the first to bring out the pieces. But here, white was very smart. He did not take with the queen. He instead played bishop to c4. And now it is black's turn. He made a mistake. Now he wanted to defend the pawn with his queen so that if now white captures the pawn, because black is a pawn up, white has to take back the pawn, then black can capture the queen. So that is why he defended the pawn with his queen. But as I said earlier, that bringing out the queen early in the game is not always a smart idea. And here we shall learn how. Why? White simply sacrificed a pawn. He says, you are a pawn up. I don't mind. Take my second pawn. I will take your one pawn. So you will remain one pawn up, but I have two pieces which are developed. Now black said, okay, I will also compete in development. So I'll also bring out my pieces. He brought out the bishop. White played knight f3. Black played knight e7. So black is following his principles. The only problem is the queen is developed too early. Now white castled and black played d6, preparing to develop this bishop as well. And now white played a very, very good move. You have to guess what white played the next move. Well, white's next move was simply advancing the center pawn. Pawn from e4 advanced to e5, attacking the queen. Now, while white attacks the queen, this is also a clearance sacrifice because we are clearing this file for attack, potential attack with the rook. And we are also clearing this square for our knight. Okay, that is why e5 is such an effective move, attacking the queen. And when black took with the pawn, immediately white played knight e4, attacked the queen again, this time with the knight. Now, where will the queen go? Because white is not only attacking the queen, but also the bishop. If the queen escapes to c6, well, firstly escaping and also supporting the bishop, then white will play. What will white play? Can you guess white's next move? Yes, white will play bishop f7. After king f7, white will play knight takes e5, check. Well, bishop f7 is a sacrifice. White will sacrifice his bishop, recover the pawn. He is capturing a pawn. But if black accepts the bishop, we take this pawn and we are now attacking the king and the queen simultaneously. So we are winning black's queen and we will get a big advantage. So that is why queen cannot go to c6. So what black did is he played queen f5. Black went for a counter trick. Now he is attacking white's knight. He is letting white captures black's bishop. So white will now claim I am a bishop up. But then what happens? Black will play e4, attacking this knight with the pawn and the other knight with the queen. So black, using this trick, is getting back what he has given. Okay, black here is 2 pawns up, but he has given away his bishop, but now he is getting back the knight. Now white finds a very nice way to counter black's idea. What is that nice way? He played knight c5 captures e4. He gave back his knight. So right now if you count chessmen, you will notice that black is 1 pawn up. But the other things is, white's rook can come into action very quickly. The bishop is also ready to develop, and white has 2 set of pieces which are already very active. Whereas black's king is still in the center, and most importantly, the queen is also exposed to attack. It is white to play and win. Can you find out how white can win? Well, the best move for white is to capture the f7 pawn with the bishop check. Well, white's idea is not only to recover the pawn, he was a pawn down. But white's idea is basically to either checkmate black, or if black captures the bishop, we will once again play double attack with the knight, attacking the knight and again that queen. So now black is repenting why I have brought out my queen so early. Okay, and if the king goes here, we still play knight g5, attacking the queen, and wherever the queen moves, let's assume the king moves here, white will play queen d8 check in the next move, and it's a checkmate. So once again this checkmate was possible because of attack on the queen. Now that is why we advise all the players, of course at some point you have to bring out your queen, but if all the other pieces are developed, then you can attack with your queen and all pieces combined. But if you go for a solo attack with your queen, it can be harassed by the opponent pieces like now, and worse, the queen can be lost sometimes. So we shall be going through the next example where we shall see how the queen was actually lost by premature queen development. So now this game, the next game which we shall see, was played by players. The player with white, his name was Bowder, and the player with black, his name was Ruth. The game was played in a city named Allentown, and it was in 1938. So pretty old game, but useful lessons. White started with knight to f3, a perfectly good move, and black played d5. White went c4. Now black thought, why not capture this pawn? Because the pawn doesn't have support, so white took this pawn. Sorry, black took this pawn, and white played knight a3 to recover this pawn. Now it's very useful to note that instead of trying to protect the pawn by making moves like queen d5 or playing something, he simply continued his development. He opened the diagonal for his bishop to develop. Now white can either capture this or this. Although white is a pawn down, but he has an option of capturing either of the pawn and recovering. Now white preferred to capture this pawn. Black advanced his pawn and attacked the knight. Now where will the knight go? The knight can't go to d4 because black will capture with the queen. The knight had to go back to its original square. Now black is happy because white's pieces are back. But then white argues that even black's pieces have not developed. At least white has one knight which is developed. Now both the sides are competing. They are bringing out the pieces quickly. Knight f6, white played g3 to bring out the bishop. Black played bishop a6 attacking the knight. So white had to move his knight to e3. Now black played a fantastic move, queen d7. The idea is that black will not allow white knight, this knight on g1, to come out. If the knight comes out from f3, of course, there is a pawn which will capture. And if it comes out from h3, the previous move queen d7 had actually increased pressure upon h3. Now he'll capture the knight, and upon bishop h3, black can recapture the bishop and remain a piece up. So white did not develop this way. Instead, white played bishop g2 and black quickly brought out his knight. Now, since white is unable to develop, he went for an adventure. Now, according to, the logic of this position, if the knight wants to develop, why not remove the pawn from e4? After the pawns are exchanged, then you can once again develop and continue with your game. Instead, white went for an adventure. He played queen a4, and with the support of the queen, white is threatening bishop takes e4. Okay, if black captures with the knight, white will recapture with the queen. Now black played a fantastic move. He played bishop b4. Black continued his development while preventing white's idea. Okay, blocking the rank. Now white wants to get rid of the bishop. He says, move away. If you move away, I can capture this pawn and then develop my pieces. But black said no. He took an opportunity to attack this queen in a very creative manner. He found out a very nice idea, that is, why not advance the pawn and attack the queen? Now it seems black is simply giving up this pawn for nothing. So queen takes b5 was played. Now black is a pawn down, but he goes for rook b8. The previous move has actually opened this file for the rook. Now where will the queen go? If the queen retreats to a4, white is a pawn up, but black has a very nice sequence and win the game immediately. You may pause the video and find the move by yourself. The fantastic move is bishop to b3, attacking the queen. Now the queen cannot retreat, and if the queen captures the bishop, white will play a very nice discovered check. Now the rook is attacking the queen, the bishop moves away with a check, and black will capture white's queen. Now if the queen doesn't take the bishop but tries to escape, black will still attack the queen, and now white will repent why he brought out his queen so early. The queen is attacked and even trapped. So what white did is, he played queen g5 instead, so that it doesn't get trapped on the queen side. White is a pawn up. Black simply chased the queen h6. Where will the queen go? If the queen retreats to h4, for instance, black can play g5, and the queen doesn't have a single square to retreat. The queen is trapped. In this position, white preferred to capture the second pawn. White is celebrating that I'm 2 pawns up, I'm attacking your rook, I'm attacking your bishop, I'm also attacking your this bishop. Okay, rook, knight and bishop, everything is attacked. So it seems white is on the verge of winning. But Black played a very simple move. He moved his king to e7, protecting the knight with his king, protecting this rook with the other rook, and letting white capture the bishop. Now, whether white captures the bishop or not, black's next move is likely to be, for example, if white captures this bishop, his next move is going to be rook g8. The queen has no square to escape. It is trapped. And even without capturing the bishop, white has absolutely no move against this idea. The queen is going to be trapped and black is going to be, he will lead in material count. He is likely to win. So in this game, white decided to give up. He resigned and black won. Now, what we learned today is, sometimes, of course, there are exceptions in chess. Sometimes it is possible to bring out the queen early, but in most cases, do not bring your queen too early in the game without developing the other chessmen. Right? First develop all the chess pieces and then develop your queen from the best possible square. I hope today's lesson was useful. Keep practicing and keep watching the videos. Goodbye.